The Supreme Court decision in the case of People versus Leonardo, BANAAG Jr. The court agrees that the prosecution sufficiently established the presence of treachery in both charges. Treachery is present when the following conditions exist. 1. The assailant employed means, methods, or forms in the execution of the criminal act which give the person attacked no opportunity to defend himself or to retaliate. And 2. Said means, methods, or forms of execution were deliberately or consciously adopted by the assailant. Here, accused appellant was riding the back seat of a motorcycle. He trailed the victims, who were also riding a motorcycle, and swiftly fired his gun at them when he found a precise distance from which he can clearly shoot and unobtrusively execute his plan to kill them. After sustaining multiple gunshot wounds on the abdomen, Jovelito lost control of his motorcycle, and he and Joseph fell into a canal. The suddenness of accused appellant's attack against Jovelito and Joseph, coupled with the multiple and successive gunshots he fired, afforded the victims without any means to retaliate or defend themselves. The subsequent utterance "Nalakan," heard by Joseph after they were shot, clearly shows accused appellant's intent to kill and that he deliberately and consciously adopted the mode of attack. Accused appellant's contention that treachery is belied by the death threats received by Jovelito deserves scant consideration. Although Jovelito had been receiving threats days before his death, and despite Joseph seeing the assailants before the attack, the victims remained unsuspecting of the impending danger in their lives on that fateful night. Accused appellant's attack was sudden and unprovoked, depriving the victims of any chance to defend themselves. The court has already declared that treachery is appreciated even in instances when the victim was warned of the danger in his life. The decisive factor is the manner of execution that rendered the victim defenseless, as in this case, where accused appellant's swift and deliberate act of firing successive gunshots left the victims defenseless. Indeed, the principal consideration in determining the existence of treachery is the attack itself. The court looks at the manner of execution and whether the chosen means, method, or form gave the victim an opportunity to retaliate. Circumstances preceding the attack, such as a prior altercation or, in this case, death threats, do not negate treachery, even if these serve as a warning to the victim about the impending danger of death. In People versus Quijano, the court appreciated treachery despite the accused threats because the attack employed by the accused was rapid and successive, which rendered the victim helpless. In a long line of cases, the court clarified that treachery shall still be appreciated even if the victim was forewarned of the attack. The decisive factor is that despite the warning, the execution of the attack made it impossible for the victim to defend himself or to retaliate. The same holds true if the prior warning did not diminish the suddenness of the attack. Notably, in People versus Ortiz, Jr., it was stressed that even if the victim was aware of the threat to his life and of the accused grudge against him, treachery still exists because the victim had no inkling that he would actually be attacked on that fateful night. What is decisive is that the attack was executed in a manner that the victim was rendered defenseless and unable to retaliate. In the same vein, in People versus Abendon, it was held that treachery exists even if the victim sensed that his life was in danger. After all, the warning did not diminish the suddenness of the attack, and the victim remained helpless and was deprived of the slightest opportunity to defend himself. Moreover, in People versus Private First Class Maljana, treachery was appreciated even if the accused fired a warning shot prior to attacking the victim. The court explained that the swift unfolding of events placed the victim in a position where he could not effectively defend himself from the assault on his person. Likewise, the court declared that the interval of time between the alleged warning and the subsequent fatal shots was not sufficient to put the victim on guard. Similarly, The death threats against Jovelito did not diminish BANAAG's treacherous attack, which was purposely and deliberately adopted. Hence, the finding of treachery by the RDC and CA must be sustained.